You know that feeling, right? You finally clear your schedule, you sit down to relax, to do absolutely nothing, and bam, this wave of anxiety just hits you. That little voice in your head starts whispering, you should be doing something else. Well, that feeling has a name. It's called productive guilt. And today, we're going to dig into exactly why it happens and what's really going on inside our heads.
I mean, it's such a weird paradox, isn't it? The one thing that's supposed to be relaxing and restorative actually makes us feel stressed out and guilty. You've earned the break, you've got the time, but for some reason, your body just refuses to get the memo. So what is going on here?
So first, let's just talk about the feeling itself. This whole antsy, uneasy feeling you get when you try to rest. Well, it's not just you overthinking it. It's a real physical response, and it has some surprisingly deep roots. Let's peel back the layers and see what's happening underneath. And look at that word right there, danger. That's a powerful word, and it's not an exaggeration. For a lot of us, especially high achievers, rest doesn't just feel kind of lazy, it literally triggers the body's alarm system. It's this deep, gut feeling that if you're standing still, you're somehow unsafe. But here's the thing you have to know. This isn't a character flaw. It's actually a trained survival response.
Okay, so if it's a learned response, that begs the question, where did we learn it? Well, to figure that out, we actually have to go back, way back. For a lot of us, the answer lies in our childhood, in an environment where maybe, just maybe, being still actually was a risk.
It's so easy to blame our modern lives for this, right? Our crazy schedules, our jobs, the phone buzzing every 2 seconds. And look, those things definitely don't help. But the real origin story of this guilt, it's much, much older. It's basically written into the hardware of your nervous system.
So here's kind of how it all went down. Imagine growing up in a place that, for whatever reason, required you to be on high alert all the time. Your nervous system, trying to keep you safe, learned a very simple piece of math. Being busy and alert equals safety, which means the opposite. Being still must equal danger. And when a pattern like that gets repeated every single day for years, it doesn't just go away. It gets hardwired. It becomes a part of you that you carry into adulthood. So how does this get so permanent, so sticky? Well, this is the really crucial part. It's not just a bad habit, It's actually a physiological adaptation. Your body literally creates its own kind of memory, and it holds on to those old rules that it thinks are still keeping you safe.
And all of this leads to something called chronic stress adaptation. I know it's a mouthful, but think of it like a thermostat in your house. Imagine it's been set to emergency heat for so long that the dial is just broken and stuck there. High alert becomes your new normal, your baseline. So your body is constantly scanning for threats, even when you're just on the couch trying to watch Netflix. Okay, this right here is the big aha moment. On the left, you see how a regulated nervous system works. Rest equals safety, which leads to recovery and calm. Simple. But now look at the right. In that conditioned state, rest signals danger. And that feeling of danger creates guilt and anxiety as a way to kick you back into action, back to what your body thinks is safe. So your mind is begging for peace, but your body's running this ancient protective software in the background. Now, our brains, they absolutely hate a mystery. They need a story to make sense of why our bodies feel the way they do. So if our nervous system is always yelling, go, 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 we build a whole identity around it to make it make sense. We create the usefulness identity. And the story we tell ourselves usually sounds something like this. This becomes the core belief that justifies always being in motion. Our brains perform this little trick where they mix up the feeling of safety that comes from being busy with the feeling of worth. And so the logic becomes, hey, if I feel anxious when I'm still but safe when I'm busy, well then my value must come from what I do. And this usefulness identity, it comes with a really strict rulebook. As you can see, your worth gets tied directly to your productivity. Downtime isn't just downtime. Your brain starts to see it as a form of neglect. Being still isn't about recovery anymore, it gets twisted into being useless. And pretty soon, relaxation stops being a basic human need and becomes a reward that you have to earn. And of course, these rules just pour gasoline on the fire of your body's urge to stay in motion.
All right, so we've dug into the issue, we've traced it all the way back to the nervous system and the identity we built around it. So, what now? Where do we go from here? Well, the real power begins with just understanding this whole mechanism, because once you understand it, you can start to reframe your entire relationship with rest. So, if you take away just one thing, please let it be this. The next time you feel that guilt creeping in when you try to relax, I want you to remember what it really is. It is not a personal failure. It's not you being lazy. It is an echo. It's an old survival tool that did its job a long time ago, but has now seriously outlived its purpose. It's basically outdated software.
And that brings us to the final and maybe most important thought. We've seen how this guilt is essentially a learned program running in the background. And the beautiful thing about a program is that once you see the code, you can start to rewrite it. So I'll leave you with this question. If your guilt is just running on old code, what's the first line of the new program you want to write for yourself?